Hey, are you ready to go? Joe and Randy's Texas Tea. Hey, you bitches know Joe and Randy's Texas Tea.
All tea, all shoe.
And it's Texas made.
Joe and Randy's Texas Tea. Get the dick out your mouth and have some while it's hot, bitch.
Welcome to Joel and Randy's Texas Tea.
Welcome, bitches.
I'm Joel Tatum.
I'm Randy and Show Hater.
And we have our third host, who's going to be with us for maybe one or two more episodes, I think.
Introduce yourself.
My name is David Hill, and I am visiting from Los Angeles, California.
We have an Angelina in the house.
Girl.
Angelina.
How did what's her name? Come on, from the movie
Sound
Grifters. How did she say it in the Grifters?
Los Angeles.
Oh, she said Los Angeles.
She hit the G
You know
real
what? I
hard.
have never seen.
Oh my God!
My God,
you are
such a
missing
good
a
movie.
treat.
I have never seen.
Get off the grift, Roy. You don't have
got
stomach for it.
Never seen
Wow,
that.
It is fantastic.
She was nominated and didn't win, and she should have won.
It got Annette Bening, Catwoman,
Yeah,
but she had to drop out. She got pregnant. She got knocked up by
Warren Beatty.
That came out at the same time as the Batman, where she wanted to be Catwoman in that movie.
Yeah,
but Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer got it, and it was the worst. Anyway, it was the worst Batman ever.
Oh, I disagree.
I disagree. I
loved it.
I love Michelle.
No, I love her as Catwoman, but the George Clooney one.
No, that's far.
No. That's still Michael Keaton.
We still gotta go.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's still Michael.
We still gotta go through Val Kilmer.
Oh, it was Michael
first.
Keaton.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm getting them all mixed
that
up.
was
Val
still
Kilmer.
Michael Keaton.
Girl, Val Kilmer.
Oh.
That's back in the day before he went to Seed, for whatever reason he went to Seed. You know what? I think that he was so enamored of Marlon Brando that he decided to follow in his footsteps and lose weight and go to Seed too.
Well, that's the wonderful thing about
Marlon Brando can do it, so can I.
It's one wonderful thing about living in Los Angeles is that you actually hear war stories from people, and most people say that Val Kilmer is one of the very worst people they've ever worked with. He would hit on the women all the time.
He put a cigarette out on a crew member's head, his forehead,
because he got in his way.
See, that's how you ruin a career.
Yeah.
And where's Val Kilmer now?
Well, he went through his
in a
cancer
pizza
scare.
place somewhere.
He went through the cancer.
I heard about that. He did go
Oh,
through
well,
a
that's
cancer
sad.
It is sad.
I'm sorry. Shout out to Val for your cancer. We showed it.
It was a scare. It was just
it was a scare.
He got shit done, so he's okay now.
It was a scare.
Well, we're not
He's
scared
blaming
anymore.
HPV. He's blaming HPV.
It was. He's not Patrick Swayze. It was a scare.
Okay, well, I ain't scared anymore to say anything about your ass now, because
You keep on saying it.
Well, because it was
you.
Michael Douglas and he were talking. Well, Michael Douglas got the HPV.
he licked a lot of vagina.
He licked a lot of badge, and then he got the HPV. God, I wonder if Catherine Zeta-Jones is walking around with a whole bunch of it.
I don't know. Gosh, that's scary.
So when I wonder if she was just leaking it whenever she was singing "Cinderella."
Oh my gosh, David.
No, I'm terrible.
You're terrible. That's why we invited you on the show, darling. Because you're terrible.
Because we're all terrible.
Speaking of terrible,
We're all
girl,
terrible.
I can't imagine being as terrible as a high school teacher in Kansas City,
Here we go.
who is also a councilman, getting so horny over a man he met on Grindr, who just happened to be an 18-year-old senior student of his, and deciding that he couldn't wait for dick long enough for the school day to be over, had sex during the school day, gave that motherfucker a hall pass, or a tardy pass, if you will, because they fucked too long, and sent him to his next class.
That sounds like a goddamn good porno.
And guess what?
I've seen that quote.
I might have seen that one.
18 will get you 2 to 5, bitch.
That's the name of that porno.
That's
like Bijou Productions or something in 1985.
He's lost his seat on city council, obviously. He's lost his job, obviously, behind the fact that he couldn't wait to get some dick until after school where they could meet at his house, or in a car or in the woods or what have you.
Mhm.
It was all about the fact that it was exciting. You know, it was exciting to have school sex with a student.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's what it was. And now look at him.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being that hot for dick? That hot for dick that you will literally lose
Your livelihood.
Your livelihood. And
Your reputation.
I'm apologizing for using the word literally. I really shouldn't. But you lost your job, your everything,
Everything.
for some dick.
Yep. Not
Sorry.
And by the way,
for a
I have
minute.
known a lot of people who've lost stuff just for dick.
Their car, their ambition,
their livelihood,
lives.
their lives, just for some dick.
I just nope. And this man is in his 20s.
Oh, the
And he's an
councilman?
he's an aspiring model.
Oh God!
Wait, he got on the city
He's
council?
in his late 20s.
Oh shit! He's a hyphenate. He deserved what he got.
Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, I wanna
This is Kansas City, Kansas.
let's
No, not even Missouri.
stop the presses.
Girl.
Stop the press. Okay, so the kid was 18.
Kid was 18, so that's
And
at
a
the
senior.
age of consent. However, in Kansas, and I'm sure the law is the same across the
No, it's
United
not.
States,
No, it's
different
not.
everywhere.
but
It's
you
different
can't
everywhere.
you can't have sex with a student in school, in the school,
Okay,
on the school grounds.
But he was 18.
Yes, so he wins on consent, but
Oh
on
wait,
the
he can
school
enroll in the
grounds-
military in high school, but he can't have sex.
No,
No.
if he's on the school grounds doing
He
it,
can't have sex with a
then
student.
that's illegal. And frankly, I think the student should be charged too because he's an adult.
Do you know who probably came up with that rule in for not having sex with students? The janitor.
Exactly. Because he can't do it.
I
can't do it. You can't do it
If I
either.
can't fuck an 18-year-old on the school campus, then neither can you, motherfucker.
Stop dropping the baby batter in the science lab. I can't. I can't.
Now, I want to take this conversation a little further because
Ooh.
we are a little bit older and we came from a different generation. Was there a janitor at your high school that you would have loved to have had sex with?
No, Mr. Ford was like 80 years old.
Ours was a lady.
No.
And you know who I wanted to fuck is the guy who was a janitor in the Breakfast Club. Remember?
I don't remember
I'm
what
talking about in
he
high
was.
school. I'm not talking
No,
about
for
in the
real.
movie.
I know, but no.
No.
Ours
In the
was a lady.
for reals.
I just had to bring that up. Because-
No, but
Well, I had a janitor.
Mr. Ford was very nice, though. I have to say, we all thought he must go home and beat his wife or his dog because nobody's that damn friendly all the damn time.
Well, I went to Sam Houston Senior High School in Houston, Texas, which at the time was the largest high school in the state of Texas.
Really?
It had my graduating class was over 900.
Damn.
And I
That's a
graduated
city.
in the top 25% of the class.
Wow.
And we had lots of janitors. And we had a crew.
Yeah.
We had 4 cafeterias. We
Damn.
had
Damn.
stadium. Our school was the size of a stadium
I
at
bet.
the time. I don't know what it looks like now. I haven't been on that side of town in quite some time, but it was the size of a stadium.
What side of town was it?
It was on the north side of Houston, and it was a huge school. We had Future Farmers of America. They
Oh, we had them.
whole.
Yeah, we
They had their
that.
whole. There was enough room. They had their cattle. They had their livestock, and all this stuff. We had a full band. We had ROTCs. We had all this stuff.
Damn.
We were a very large school when I was going to school at the time.
Yeah.
So the crew of maintenance workers, there was Manuel. There was
Shout out to Manuel. Hey, Manuel.
There was
Como
Robert.
estás, Manuel?
There was Robert, who was just this. Now and no offense, because one of my hosts is blonde. I'm not a huge fan of the blonde men, but he was 6'3" of blondness, like Thor.
A Nord. He was a
Nordic. He was a Nordic god.
I'm more of a nerd than I am a Nord, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was a Nordic god. Yes, he would have been in your favorite TV show, Norseman.
Well,
and he was just beautiful, and I used to follow this man all over school.
Oh my god!
All over school, and he was the friendliest man on the planet.
I gotta say, it was the coaching staff was the most fucking.
Oh, Lord, shorts.
Yes, without saying.
Shorts.
But there was a
tight
coach.
shorts.
The tight shorts.
I
There was a
geography behind those tight shorts.
There was a coach who I was sure was gay. I wasn't totally sure, but I saw him at Heaven. Remember when it was Heaven?
Oh, yes.
I saw him at Heaven when I was 19.
For those of you that know, South Beach used to be called Heaven back
South
in the
Beach
day.
is a club in
and then it burned down under mysterious circumstances. Those circumstances were mysterious.
Well, that man is still alive who owns the place, so that's,
He's still alive.
that will remain a mystery. Yes, Queen, he's still alive.
Yes, he's still
That
alive.
will remain a mystery. And we're not hating on anybody, whatever the names
No,
are.
I just don't. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
I actually have a scary
long
story,
time.
but I'm not going to tell y'all.
Well, no, because we're not trying
I'd
to get
like to
sued.
hear that scary
We're not
story.
trying to
I'll
get
tell you.
sued.
Halloween.
I will tell
Halloween
you.
will be coming up. So I'll
We're
be
not
there
trying to
then.
get sued, bitches.
Maybe we'll
By
talk about it
anybody
next
with
week.
a team of
Let's talk about it
lawyers.
next
Let's
week
talk about it
because
next
Halloween will be coming up closer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a scary
So-
story.
And it's
Yeah, it's gonna be
October.
scary if we
The
fuck up.
weather is getting cooler. You know, next week they're talking about 75 degrees.
I know.
Oh, that's a blessing. In
50-something
Houston,
degrees.
Texas, that's
What's the
nice.
humidity going to be like? That's all that matters to me anymore. I'm so used to dry weather.
Oh, I think. Oh, well, it's been quite wet here for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
It's like a spa treatment every time I walk outside.
It's
I
terrible.
know. It's like
Not that I'm complaining. It keeps you young.
It does keep
True.
you young, keeps the skin nice and moist.
I'm
I don't
so-
have to use. You know, I bought all this expensive moisturizers and
Yeah.
stuff when I was on the cruise. You know, I haven't used it once because it's been so moist outside. It's been so nice. Little sauna treatment going on. I'm like, oh, just a little bit of toner, a little bit of this on the face, and I'm out the door.
There you
You
go.
got that natural glow
I
from the
got that
humidity.
Well,
From the 110% humidity you
Yes,
got out there.
exactly.
now, how good do you think your skin would be if you spent, I don't know, so much time binging on Netflix that you couldn't come out the house till you go to work?
Oh,
You go to work. Here we go.
Here we go. We're gonna
David,
begin
tell us
to-
about that man.
Well, this is in
Begin.
India.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they had to actually treat this guy for binge addiction. He became unemployed because he was watching Netflix too much. And then, he said he was, okay, now this is what I don't get. He was watching up to 7 or 8 hours a day. I can do 12.
I can do 12
Easily.
I have come home from work at 5 o'clock in the evening and gone to work at 5 o'clock and gotten up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm still binging on something.
But is
To
there
go to work.
Now, here's the question, because you read the article. Is there some sort of lawsuit or anything? Is he seeking some sort of...
No. It's just information because
Oh.
I think that this is the beginning. I guess those doctors write a report and they think it's the beginning of an epidemic, which it could be. It could very well be. I will put on a show. I will sleep through maybe 4 or 5 episodes, wake up, watch something, and go, oh my God, I got to go backwards. And so I will have to go back and watch those other 3 episodes I slept through. But the thing is, what's great and good for the industry is that even though I'm sleeping, it still says I'm watching it. So they're still making
Right. So they're
coins.
still making-
So they're going to make more good shows.
Well,
Have you watched an Indian show on Netflix?
No, I have not,
No.
actually.
They are actually really good.
no, I haven't.
They're very. I think everyone should, because there's so much out there that we have Spanish soap operas, which
Yes.
I got into.
I love Korean dramas. Korean
There's
dramas
a
are amazing.
There's a
They are the
telenovela
best.
that they dubbed into English, and I watched some of it, and I just loved it.
Was that House of Flowers?
Yes!
Oh my God, House of Flowers is
House
so
of
good.
Flowers is so good.
But there was one about a department store. I forget the name of it. They have one set in the 60s, so everyone is dressed flawlessly. And of course, I like the Spanish men anyway.
Yeah, of
Our
course.
Latin men.
Thank
And
you,
they are
Antonio
all
Banderas.
as hell.
Well, you know, I could binge, and I have done for 2 days when I was off work.
Uh-huh.
I watched an entire series in 2 days.
What was it?
For Grace and Frankie.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
was it? Yeah, Grace and Frankie. That's the
And
Lily
for
Tomlin,
2 days, I watched
Jane Fonda.
at
You
least.
mean Frankie and Grace?
Is it Frankie and Grace?
It's Frankie and Grace.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of.
Oh, Frankie and Grace.
Frankie and
Okay.
Grace.
I watched
Mhm.
a couple of episodes. I couldn't get into it.
I thought it was whatever.
Mhm.
I'll
But
watch it
anyway,
when they have Dolly Parton on.
I have a friend though.
You know, we speculated that season 5 they're probably going to bring.
They
her
might
on.
bring Dolly
They might bring her
on.
on.
I
Yo,
hope
they
so.
are they are actually going to do another 9 to 5.
They are. They're
Mhm.
But all 3 of them are going to be part of the story.
Mhm.
It's not going to be a frickin' reboot. It's
Mhm.
going
No,
to be
no,
a
no.
continuation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is what I heard. It may not happen,
Mhm.
but
Well, I'd like to see that. But I have a friend who watched the entire series
Mhm.
of Game of Thrones to the point that, we're about to see the end of the
Mhm.
series.
thank God.
Oh, hush, I love
No, I
Game
love
of
it too.
Thrones.
It has to.
I
But
know.
he watched it in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's how many seasons
that's
do they have?
like 5 or
Mhm.
6.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank
And we
God.
watched it every day when I was over there. I love it.
Probably
So I didn't
gonna.
mind.
Here's what's going to happen for me. I didn't watch Breaking Bad until the show was over,
Still haven't seen it.
and I watched all of the seasons, and it was amazing.
It was
That's
amazing.
what I hear.
It was amazing.
You got to
No,
see
I'm
it.
going to.
It was. I didn't watch it until it was over, so I'll probably do the same thing with
And that's
Game
a
of
fun
Thrones.
thing to do.
And all
I
the
will probably
You have to
because
find
the
it on-
first time that I try. Now I
It's
am
going to be on Amazon.
in this group of 3. I am like a huge nerd. I am comic books. I am sci-fi. I am
I am kind of.
all that stuff.
I'm sci-fi, but I'm definitely not comic book.
Well, there's sci-fi and then there's fantasy.
Right.
They are two different
Oh,
things.
sci-fi
And
fantasy.
sometimes they
And-
merge.
and sometimes they merge. But for the most part, I am waiting for Game of Thrones to end.
Mhm.
So you can
Because
watch the entire.
all the times that I tried to watch Game of Thrones were people who read all the books.
yes.
And every time I was
and they
there,
ruin it.
and they
Yeah.
would ruin it. And it's like, oh my God, can I please just watch the damn show?
But I think.
But then when I tried to watch it by myself,
Mhm.
then it was like, oh, it
Can-
would be nice to watch it with somebody.
We call them Game of Ruiners.
Mhm.
Game of Ruiners.
Game of Ruiners.
Well,
That sounds accurate. It was
I
the
don't
same
think-
thing with Walking Dead.
Showtime streams.
Walking
Show-
Dead was the same thing.
Showtime streams on Netflix.
Mhm.
So HBO probably streams on Hulu
Mhm.
or Amazon.
Mhm.
No, HBO is
actually-
Warner Brothers, so they are normally affiliated HBO, Warner Brothers, and I think they're more Amazon, I would say.
I think Amazon.
And
yeah.
Paramount does Amazon too a lot.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'll watch it on Amazon because I don't have Amazon.
Oh,
Well,
I love
I'm-
Amazon.
Well, I'm gonna have to get Amazon simply because
then I'm going to have to get your code.
Well, hold on. Can we have a deep nerd discussion real quick
Yes.
about interface, about the actual menus and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, Netflix is probably the premier
Mhm.
of menus.
Yes.
Or actually, it kind of was.
Mhm.
They keep changing it. I don't like the new interface so much. Amazon is cheap, but they
Mhm.
have the best horrible movies.
Mhm.
Like you can find like the Invasion of the Bee Girls
Mhm.
or Chopping Mall. I mean, really great bad movies.
On Netflix, I am all about martial arts films, so I can
Oh.
find the worst, most terrible martial arts films from the. When I was
Really?
when I was a
Martial
kid,
arts
yes, when I was a
films, that's
kid,
fun.
They're
me
fun.
and my after Saturday morning cartoons,
Yes,
morning cartoons in Houston, Texas.
you got the
Then we went to what they call UPN now,
right.
but before that, I can't remember what
It was
they were
K
called.
Dog or something.
I can't
think.
remember what they were called. But at noon, they would show like 70s martial arts films.
They would.
And these were just terrible films. But we loved them.
And they were dubbed so
And
awfully.
they were just dubbed so awfully. Oh
And then
my
you'd
Well,
see,
I
God.
liked-
you'd see
I
when
liked
they had to
the-
splice the film
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
I like Godzilla when I was a kid.
Yes.
And especially with Godzilla versus Mothra was one of my favorite movies where they have the twins in the carriage and they're singing that song, Mothra, Mothra, every night, that's all the Japanese I know. Every night, Kubiya. I don't know what it means.
I know. What is it? Konnichiwa.
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 Konnichiwa. Oh,
by the
Japan,
Japan, we don't mean no harm.
we don't mean no harm. I see.
I'm in a class with mostly Japanese people in LA, and they are lovely people.
We love Japan, girl.
So we don't mean no harm. It's just
we don't know how to speak your language.
Oh my God.
Your language is way too complicated, and you know what? It's like one of the oldest languages in the world.
It's the characters.
It's the characters.
It's so,
but
it's beautiful to look at.
It's a beautiful thing to look at.
Yeah.
It really is beautiful. But the Godzilla movies were, oh, good Lord,
So much fun.
they were so much fun. But the dubbing was
Gamera. Gamera.
But you know they're rebooting all that crap too. Because they did the King Skull Island, Kong Skull Island, sorry. Did y'all see that?
No.
Surprisingly, very, very good. And John C. Reilly steals the whole movie. He plays this...
Is he any kin to Jeannie C. Riley?
You know, I don't know. But he's from Chicago, and she's from the Deep South.
So
maybe they're
not.
like second cousins.
Well, maybe.
I'm actually...
Or she might be his auntie.
This is the first time that I'm actually going to say this. There have been... maybe 4 Godzilla movies, maybe 4 in the last few years that have been not really that good. The new one that they're coming out with the girl from Stranger Things.
Oh yes,
I'm
there for that.
Actually, the one with now. See, I can't
Vera
remember his
Farmiga is
name.
in that too.
The
She's
Breaking
amazing.
Bad actor, the Godzilla movie that he did.
Oh, Bryan Cranston.
Bryan
It was
Cranston.
so over the top.
It was
And
so over the top.
fun. It was. That's what
Godzilla
Godzilla movies do.
Hold on, his
They
performance
go over the top.
His performance was bigger than Godzilla's actually was.
Exactly.
They go over the top in those movies. So.
Have y'all seen the trailer for the new one?
Yes.
Oh my God, it looks
Yes, like I said, with the girl from Stranger
that's a
Things.
good trailer.
And that is
You know what,
directed by
maybe-
the guy who did Trick or Treat.
Maybe he got caught up in the whole genre thing, you know.
The genre acting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, of course, because he knew the script was crap. And you're overcompensating. I was like, they handed him $15 million, and they said, do your Bryan Cranston thing, and he amped it up to 15. He's like, I'm going to die in this movie. Oh, shit, did I? Spoiler. Alert.
Oh, girl, that movie was out 2 years ago.
I know, so I don't feel so bad. If you haven't seen it yet,
I don't feel bad. If you haven't seen it yet, then you need to.
Then you must be in a coma.
I'm a trailer watching bitch. I
Me
watch
too.
trailers.
Did you see the new one for Pet Cemetery?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Cemetery.
We did it.
They're redoing.
I had nightmares from the original Pet
Really,
Cemetery.
I laughed at Pet Cemetery.
It was a little camp.
It was so
No,
campy.
I didn't.
It was just, the man, the guy who played the old man who in the movie, Fred Quinn, who was also the
not Fred
grandfather,
Quinn.
who was
Not
also
Fred
the
Quinn.
grandfather in what's that
I
little
meant
show on the WB? Oh my God, I used to love that show. Oh good Lord,
WB.
Good Lord.
So confused by WB's changes over
With the mother and daughter who,
Oh, Lord.
with the mother and daughter.
Wilford Brimley?
No, what? No,
No, it was Fred Gwynn.
No, they just recently did a redo on not a redo, but kind of finished off the show on Netflix. Lorelai.
Oh God! It's
Oh
something
good
to
Lord!
watch.
It's coming to me.
Girl.
It's coming to me. It is coming to me. Woo. The mother and daughter who were living in a small town. She got pregnant at 16. They live in a small town in New England. Everybody talks a lot in this show. I mean, there's so much dialogue.
Oh, the Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls.
Oh, dialogue, overlapping
Yes.
dialogue.
Oh my
Gilmore
God!
Girls.
You know what?
It's
I
split
have to
my
say
throat.
this as a writer, I loved all the dialogue.
Oh yeah, the dialogue.
Oh, the dialogue is fantastic.
Yeah.
But as the years went on, I'm like,
Tedious.
it was I'm like, oh
Of
my
course
God,
it was tedious.
all you people do is sit around and just talk.
And frankly, every character in that show was the same.
That's the
They all
writer.
had the
That's the
inflection,
writer.
the same inflections, the overlapping dialogue. You know, oh my
Her
god.
name, the writer, the creator of that show is Amy Sherman Palladino. She had Bunheads, which was a fabulous show.
Very good.
But they all talked alike.
Yeah, they all talk alike.
And now she's doing The Marvelous Miss Maisel, which I haven't really I watched one episode.
Oh
It was good.
no! I have
good.
a friend who loves The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
I you know what?
It's been winning awards.
This is one of those. This is one of the reasons why I do want to get Amazon, because I really want to watch that show.
Yeah.
Because it has good lord. See,
Tony
here we
Shalhoub.
are.
Tony Shalhoub.
No, not Tony Shalhoub. She does the voice of
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
She was on,
Mad TV.
Mad TV. She was Miss Swan.
Oh yeah, I like
I
that.
have stories about. I did a show, a spoken word show, essay show with her brother, and okay, I'm not going to say.
No, don't say.
We're from Los Angeles. We went
They hear us in Los Angeles. They hear us all over the world. They hear us trying to burn
hold on.
bridges.
I'm not trying to burn bridges, but you know, I hear that some people aren't so nice, and you can kind of see.
Well, you hear that about Bette Midler all the time, but I still love the bitch.
I think that's conditional with her. I think she looks at some people and goes, "Oh, to hell with this person." They're trying too hard. You know, you don't want to be ambushed with someone who's like,
yeah,
"I love
exactly.
you, I love you, I love you."
And I
Yeah,
love
of
you,
course.
I love you, I love you is bullshit anyway. I'm sorry, I couldn't ever say that to somebody I don't know.
Well, listen, I've done box office. Bill Pullman was in front of me,
I
and
bet he has a large one.
he is very good looking. Of course, they mostly are when they're not on the screen. He's very handsome. He's got the beard, in the center. And I just was a fumbling fool. And I've been around a lot of celebrities.
Yeah, but
I mean, I studied with Edward
but
Albee.
you could see how big his
Actually, I wasn't looking. See, it would have been
package
obvious.
was.
But
I would have been looking.
Lori
I would've
Metcalf
covered
came
the
in.
corner.
Lori Metcalf came in, and I knew my energy was off.
You
the
know,
charts.
I love Lori Metcalf.
I do too.
She's a
fucking
fantastic
brilliant
actress.
and she
really
doesn't
is.
get enough credit.
No, she does.
So are we looking
She's deservedly
So
getting
are
the
we
credit she
looking
deserves.
forward to the Connors then?
No, I'm not.
Are we looking forward to the Connors?
I don't know.
I'm
the
not.
reviews that I
Well-
saw on the internet
'Cause I didn't
said
like the
that
Roseanne
it was good. That it was.
Here's
good.
the
I
thing.
didn't care for the Roseanne reboot.
Here's the thing, and I am actually glad that we're talking about this. I like the idea that they have decided to go on with this show.
Yeah,
I like the idea.
Sure, me too.
That
they have a whole
They're
new team
employing
of writers.
people.
yes,
People are working.
but I also like the idea that they actually have a show that kind of works off of Last Man Standing, which ABC got rid of,
And now it's on
moved to
Fox.
Fox,
And it's doing really well.
and it's doing really well. So I like the idea of the Connors being the show that will be.
Did they move
Spun
to
off.
another network?
Yeah,
That's
they
on
moved to
Netflix.
Fox.
No.
Oh.
Oh, no. Last Man Standing.
Last
did.
Man Standing moved
Yeah,
to
but
Fox.
Roseanne moved to another network.
No, Roseanne is no.
It's still ABC.
It's still ABC. She will not be on the show, and
No.
as far as
Take that
I
off.
know, she has been written off as dead or whatever.
Opiate addiction, I hear.
Yeah,
That was that. Joel,
But I
I
like
said
the
it on the
idea.
show. What did I say on the show? They're going to kill Roseanne with her opiate addiction.
Because I guess that happened during the reboot. I quit watching. I watched a couple of
Well,
episodes.
no, she was addicted to drugs in the reboot. And so I was like, girl, I know how they're going to kill her. And I was like, you heard it here first. She
You gotta-
overdosed on drugs.
But let me just say this: I did watch the reboot. I wasn't into it so much. I wanted to. I really wanted it to work. I really wanted to know.
You
all
saw the
family.
reboot already?
I know. I watched parts of it,
Roseanne.
and I gave up on it. But I really wanted to know All in the Family, and it just didn't hit
It's
those centers.
no, it won't. And the beautiful thing is that
There's
Here's
only one
how-
on the family.
here's how ABC is still going to win us who live in Middle America.
Uh-huh.
You live in Los Angeles.
Right.
We live in Houston, Texas.
You live in the real world.
So the idea of okay, well, Roseanne's not going to be on the show. We loved it when it first came back on, when they rebooted it. We're okay with the idea of, well, you know, she said something stupid, so she shouldn't be on the show. Blah blah blah. Give us something that will be what Last Man Standing was. And that's exactly what ABC is going to do, and that's exactly how the show is going to work. It's going to work in Middle America. It really is.
I wish the best for everybody involved.
Well, but see, okay, you say there can never be another All in the Family.
I didn't say that.
I thought that's what you said.
No, there couldn't. There couldn't ever be another All in the Family. But first of all, the content of that show was such that you could never, ever rewrite that.
No, I'm not talking about rewriting the show. I'm talking about putting it in the here and now with our because the things that were prescient then, some of it is prescient now. We've never been more divided in this country than we were in the 70s, in the late 60s.
Yeah.
You know, but we're fighting a different war now. We're dealing with social media. People are reflexively saying stuff, and it's not taking a while to hit everybody.
It hits everybody.
It hits everybody immediately. Whereas back then, you'd have to read about it, or you read someone's opinion and go, well, that opinion is fact because I read it in the paper.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're going, people are firsthand, you got your iPhones, you have people's opinions, but people are giving their opinions on Twitter.
But frankly, I think people are given too
Much
many
free
of their
rein.
opinions.
Here's what,
Too much free reign, and too many people are listening to too many people who need to shut the fuck up in the first place.
Have got to say, I have got a good idea for Twitter. I think that there should be a 15-minute delay or 10-minute delay. So when you knee-jerk that post, you have like 10 minutes to go. Okay, it's going to go out.
Well,
hold on. At 9 minutes, you go. Okay, it might go out. I don't know. I'm going to just 5 minutes. To hell with it. I know that's going to piss people off. Let me rethink it. Let me not do it. Because whenever you put it out there, and let me finish. Whenever you put it out there, it's out there. People screenshot it. You can't take it back.
There's an app for that, is what I'm trying to say. There is an app for that on your phone. I can't remember what it's called, but there is an app for that.
Was it Regret app? I haven't heard of a Regret app.
I don't know, but it has been created. There is an app for that.
Okay, well, then
was it created before or after the Roseanne incident? Because I wish it had been done before the James Gunn incident, because that would have been...
No, see, they went back in his past.
Yeah, and see, that's...
Oh, don't get me started on James Gunn.
Here's what is getting me really a little bit upset about the fact that here is a guy,
I didn't know that.
Here is a director who gave me two fantastic movies that I completely enjoyed.
Yeah.
Which was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which is beautiful.
Which were just beautiful, fun movies.
Moving.
Just fun. Back into space, doing that kind of stuff. You were still in the Marvel universe, but
I saw it 3 times in the movie theater.
I know.
I never do that.
I know. So you gave me these movies. He made some comments in the past, and suddenly there's zero tolerance.
Right. But
look, I'm all about the fact that we make mistakes in the past. Are we supposed to pay for those mistakes for the rest of our lives?
Agreed. Ridiculous. But let me say this.
Well, what kind
look
of
at his
mistakes?
beginning. His first, he worked with Troma. Troma is not known for their subtle humor.
No.
They're not BBC. Tromeo and Juliet was the first thing he wrote.
Tromeo and Juliet.
Which,
I love that.
it's got a dick monster in it.
I love that. I love that.
And then he did, Slither, which is a very sly satire, And then, oh my God, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
The reboot, which I was going, oh my God, what a terrible idea. And then I saw it, I was going, this is fucking amazing. But that was very dark.
Yes.
And there was a lot of dark humor in it.
Yes, it was.
And Guardians has got that, is flirting on that edge between mainstream and, subversive. He's a great thinker. He is a great world creator. Guardians of the Galaxy not only was a great story, it was beautiful at times.
Here's what I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. I am a Marvel comic book nerd all the way back. Guardians of the Galaxy was a comic that most people didn't read. It was one of those comics that I picked up every now and then when I was looking for my Spider-Man comic.
Right. It's fringy.
It was a fringy comic. I read it every now and then, and that was it. The fact that Marvel would take comics that weren't that popular,
right,
and Iron Man was not a popular Marvel comic.
Was it not? I
It
never
was
knew
not
that.
a popular Marvel comic. It was the comic that I would pick up every now and then if it had a Spider-Man story in it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And the same thing with the Avengers. The Avengers was not a popular comic
Right.
for a long. It was all about X-Men and Spider-Man
Right.
for the longest time with Marvel. The
Right.
Avengers, they were great, but the heroes were boring and this and that. But the thing is that Guardians of the Galaxy always most of the people you see in the movie now were not the original characters in the comics.
Oh, okay.
They always changed over every
Right.
time. So James Gunn took an obscure comic from Marvel and turned it into an amazing movie. Two amazing movies. And the fact that we're not going to see a third amazing movie from him really pisses me
I
off.
agree. But
Really?
now he's moved on to the DC universe.
Yes, which now he'll be doing Suicide Squad.
which is okay with me.
Which I'm actually okay with.
Because the first one was kind of awful. Except for Margot Robbie delivered a performance.
You know what? Margot Robbie as Haley Quinn, amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
Even Will Smith.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was like,
I don't really
But
care.
they killed off the hottie. They
Yeah.
killed off that guy who's playing Magnum PI now.
Uh-huh.
What's
But
his
I'm
name?
like, I don't remember. And this is how much Suicide Squad was.
I know, it was terrible.
This was how much Suicide Squad was. Harley Quinn, and a bunch of other people.
Right. Well, they wasted what's his name, the guy from Oz, who I've loved since Oz.
Who?
Oh God, he's got a name that's hard to pronounce. A lot of syllables.
Well.
He was on Oz. It was Adebisi on Oz.
Oh, I like Adebisi.
Yeah, and he's
He
been
was
in,
hot.
he was everything he's in. He's great. He's he's commanding. And
Well, we've had a lot of talk about Hollywood and movies, so we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we will be right back. I'm going to let you listen to Squiggle Jammer or whatever the hell this is.
we gonna boogie.
We're going to boogie just a little bit, and we'll be right back.
Bye.
back.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, y'all.
Hello. We have just been having a good time.
Yeah.
We have David Hall, who is from Los Angeles.
Hill.
Hill.
okay.
Hill, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Hills are alive.
It's a
Sound
sound
of music.
Ba, 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 ba.
You know what? We sing that better than Julie Andrews does now. She
Yeah,
has
we
no
do.
voice.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Why would you say that about my Julie?
Because it's true. Her husband ruined her.
Speaking of which,
Oh shit!
and I want to hear Randy's take on this. I really do want to hear Randy's take on this.
You want to hear Randy's take on that?
The reboot, remake, something.
Of what?
Mary Poppins. Mary
Oh,
Poppins.
it's actually the sequel.
The sequel to
I
Mary
can't wait
Poppins.
to see it, and I heard it's
And it is
a little darker.
Who's in the lead role? Now?
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
And they
She's the
nearly
only person
killed
that can do
her
it.
Mhm.
when she was, the
This-
whole thing with her landing with the umbrella.
Mhm.
Girl, they nearly killed that bitch. She said she nearly died.
Mhm.
Well, she
Because
wasn't.
of the aerial shit they were doing with the wires and stuff like that.
Had she already had her baby with that hot husband of hers?
Mm-hmm. No, actually, she was pregnant during the filming.
Oh my goodness!
Mhm.
Yeah, they had
Is that
nearly
before?
killed
Did
her.
y'all see The Quiet Place?
I need to see that. I'm
Oh
waiting
my
for it
God.
to- I'm thinking of either watching.
I have A Quiet Place, but I didn't see it.
I'm thinking of watching it either on Vudu because I think it just dropped.
Voodoo?
Oh, it's been out for a while.
Voodoo? They have a place called Voodoo?
VUDU.
Oh my God, that's scary. We both.
I
did that
know,
the same
right?
Jinx, you owe him a coat.
Hey, shout me a cock.
Oh my God.
But what happens if you say "Jinx, show me a coke" at the same time?
Mhm.
Do you?
Oh, now, you know what? I have no point of reference.
Mhm.
No, but
I
The Quiet
just
Place
don't.
is really good.
Mm.
The thing is, if you're eating popcorn during The Quiet Place with everybody else, because the movie's so quiet,
Mhm.
it's nerve-wracking.
Mhm.
It's like you couldn't eat a snack during A Quiet Place because you didn't want anyone. Because I was triggered. I was triggered the whole time. I was like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Nobody. Don't move in your seat. God damn it.
But I can't wait to see the new Mary Poppins.
Mhm.
Shout out to Emily Blunt. Hey, girl.
Mhm.
Oh, what about?
Is she married to John Krasinski?
Yes.
Is she the one married
Yes.
to John? Yeah. Oh.
You know
Oh.
she's getting some good stuff, girl.
Oh, he-
I don't mean to be. I'm not going to be
I
crass
love
about
John
it.
Krasinski. I feel like, and
She gets
you're in the
good
Hollywood now.
stuff.
I just feel like that he seems like a really nice gentleman.
He's a very nice gentleman.
He's a very nice gentleman.
And you know what? That makes the
Mhm.
stuff even better.
Mhm.
Because you know what? A nice gentleman is
Mhm.
going to be
I heard that whole office.
not so nice in bed.
the office set as a whole,
Mhm.
everybody was cool as shit,
Mhm.
very supportive. They all liked each other,
Mhm.
except there was something. I don't even know if I should bring it up. There was something I read about. I think one of the stars had a brother who just did something terrible. But that doesn't reflect on the show. I don't
No,
know.
of course
that's
not.
That's
Oh,
my
wow.
No.
ADHD
Mhm.
going. Oh wait.
Are you talking? No, no.
You know what I loved about
I'm not
it?
going to go there. I was about to go there.
You know, I recently
Ben Affleck's brother was Me Too.
Well, that's because
Casey
he deserved
Affleck,
it.
yeah,
Casey.
he kind of
He deserved it.
He did deserve it. So
He kinda
when your
deserved
brother
it.
does something bad that shouldn't reflect on you.
Mm-hmm.
But can I tell you? I mean, being in the middle of all that with the Me Too movement.
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, it's
Okay.
I'm having an issue with my face. It's itching.
Mm-hmm.
Being there, it's just there. You know, there's always this paranoia about saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing, and then you throw the Me Too thing into it,
Mhm.
and everyone's afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is like overly cautious
Mhm.
about speaking about anything,
Mm-hmm.
and it really, you can't have an honest conversation anymore. You know
what?
Everyone's so
Well,
guarded.
you know what?
Now, see,
Thank you for bringing that up because
but
Mhm.
I agree. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's sort of the climate in this country anyway.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
a lot of shit.
Exactly.
Okay, but
Like politics. Do you know I had a woman the other day say,
What?
She's a flight attendant. She flies all over
What airline?
the world.
Mhm.
I don't know what airline.
Damn.
I'm going to ask her that. She said, "Oh my gosh, I thought of you the other day. It was so funny. We flew into New York, and I decided I wanted to go into the Trump Plaza."
Mhm.
And she said, "I went in a gift shop, and she said, I knew you would find it fun." And she's, well, actually, what she did, I'm sorry, I screwed it up. She cupped her mouth
Mhm.
to
Cupped her
whisper,
To whisper.
Mhm.
"I went to the Trump Plaza." Because she was afraid somebody would hear that
Mhm.
and think that she was a
She was a
Trump
supporter.
supporter
Mhm.
and whoop her ass in the parking lot.
Mhm.
And I find that offensive.
Mhm.
She should have been able to say, "I went to the Trump Plaza and went in the gift shop and thought about you," and they have a pen, a gold pen, and when you write with it, it talks to you,
Mhm.
and it's in Donald Trump's voice.
Mhm.
She said, "I knew you would have gotten a kick out of it." And I said, "I would have." She said, "But it was $50, and I'm sorry. That's just too much damage."
Well, that lets you know right now that you are in Trump Tower, and I'm not paying $50 for a pen.
I'm not paying $50 for a right
Good
pen.
Lord.
But I thought it was
stupid.
sad. But I thought it was sad.
Remember,
it's
you
a
can't-
sad commentary in this country.
It is.
When you feel like you're talking about Hitler,
Mhm.
but you can't speak ill of Hitler. And I'm not calling Donald Trump Hitler by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
I'm saying
He's not smart enough to be
I'm
Hitler.
saying
No, he is not.
that you don't want to speak
Mhm.
against or for anybody
Mhm.
on either side. Okay, fine. What if she? No, people don't do that though about talking about Hillary Clinton.
Mhm.
But it's just
Oh,
what you're saying.
I'll be honest.
No, but what you were saying.
I honestly did not want Hillary Clinton in office.
I did not either.
But she was the only choice between him and her for me, because he scares me so bad, and I think that all of my fears
Are now
have happened.
have come to fruition.
Well,
but they've also been. It's like they got a little worse.
Mhm.
I never thought this would be. He's such a buffoon. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He's
Well,
a buffoon.
apparently I've opened a can of worms.
All right, we're
that
not gonna go
I
there.
need to close.
Fine, we're not going to go there.
Since we've already been there. We've already been there.
Okay.
Well, I would like to finish it. by-
Oh, of course.
I would
Please
like
do.
to finish it by going that whether he's a buffoon or not, no matter what your opinion of him is, I think the scariest thing that worries me
Mhm.
is the fact that there are so many people who are such fervent followers.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
treat him as if he is some kind of messiah or something, and it worries me a
Well-
little bit when and Randy, I see the look on your
Hold
face.
on. Nope. I was.
And
about
we
to say-
talked about this,
I was about to say something you probably don't think I was going to say.
but when I see such fervent
Yes, I agree with you.
hatred toward people who say, "Well, you know what? I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm sorry. I'm just not." And they get this look on their face like, "How dare you?" Or like he's some kind of thing. It scares me a
Yeah.
little.
Okay,
It
well-
completely I know that it's not everyone, but it's just those few people that make me go, "Oh, I need to make sure that
You tamper it down.
All right.
you
well,
temper that down a little bit."
you know what? I don't think any person in office has ever been this divisive.
Mhm.
I agree with you.
I agree with you on that.
And
In our lifetime.
so, in our lifetime.
Well, since Nixon.
So, I worry about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Democrats.
Mhm.
I worry about Republicans. I worry about everybody. Because people need to lighten the fuck up.
Exactly.
If y'all are listening to me, lighten the fuck up and stop
Exactly.
being so fervent
Reactive.
on one
Lord.
side or the other or reactive. And stop picketing outside of people's houses or restaurants or telling people, get the fuck out of here, nobody wants you here, shit.
Mhm.
That's bullshit. That should never happen.
Mhm.
We should be allowed to live comfortably in our country with each other as Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
We are the fucking United States. Be united, bitches. And united means we're all of one mind of respect for the country. You don't have to like the president. I haven't liked a lot of presidents, but I've never taken it to the streets.
Yeah,
I've never been mean to anybody behind it.
Oh, no.
So that's what I'm saying. We are, what I pray for every night, and I do, and I mean that with all my heart, and y'all know I'm a person of faith. I pray for a united nation again. United, the people united. For one goal, to have a peaceful relationship with each other in this country.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's all.
And I think that we all kind of want the same thing.
Yeah, we all want the same thing.
Yeah.
We all want the same thing.
And I want gay people to stop being persecuted everywhere. And by the way, footnote, is that I guess that's a footnote. Footnote to that. Tokyo today or yesterday, I read online, has decided that you cannot discriminate against gay people in Tokyo.
Awesome!
L, G, B, and T, and Q, and A, and everybody else, honey, are allowed to be who they want to be.
Can I ask
by
you a
the
question?
government in Tokyo? That's a big thing.
Can I ask you a question? Did y'all talk about what happened in India?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Listen,
Yeah, we did.
I cannot wait for the gay porn that's going to come out of India.
Oh, I can't wait.
Bollywood
Yes.
gay porn.
Yes. Bollywood, yes. Dancing and everything else.
They fuck, they dance.
They
They dance.
Naked
Oh my
men
God.
gyrating
Yes.
like that, dicks
I
just
cannot
flopping,
wait.
balls just flopping.
Yes. Bring me some Bollywood porn.
Bollywood
gay
porn. Okay, if you
India.
haven't done it yet, India,
India,
now
if you're
is
listening,
the time.
send it over to our Facebook page, please.
Right.
Oh no, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like porn on his page.
Oh well, then go on Tumblr.
We don't have Tumblr.
Get a
Tumblr.
Get a Tumblr page, guys. Come on.
Tumblr schmumbla. We're not there yet.
If
We'll
you
get
if you
there.
want if you want to reach the millennials, get a Tumblr.
Okay.
It's true. It's
Well, I
a
don't know from Tumblr. You know,
Tumblr's
we
like,
have
no, you would love
computers.
Tumblr. Tumblr. I mean, you can put anything on Tumblr.
I know Boy George. I'll tumble for ya. I'll tumble for ya. I'll tumble for ya. I'll tumble for you.
You know what I hate about that is he's trying to sing and he just crack smoked his vocal cords away.
I know,
It
it
makes me
breaks my
so
heart
mad.
because the man sang so beautifully.
Oh my God, he had a beautiful
and so
voice.
soulfully.
You know,
And then it's gone because of crack. And
crack.
Girl, he did more than crack. He was
I don't know
on
what he did.
heroin.
No.
Man, he was on that heroin. Boy George was on that heroin. You need to read the book. Take It Like a Man. He talks about all that shit.
They did a TV movie in the BBC, and it was really good. It really focused on the relationship he had with his drummer, who's now straight.
His drummer, according
Okay,
to
not
his drummer,
straight,
was
on the
always
Kinsey
straight.
scale somewhere.
His drummer wanted his inheritance, bitch.
Well, his money.
His money.
Because he was a big super... I mean, that man... I mean, he made drag queens who they are today. He was the preeminent
Oh my
drag
God,
queen.
Boy George brought androgyny to the 80s.
Yes.
Such the funniest story that I will tell right now because I need to tell this story, and I think I told this story before on the show, but I'm going to tell it real quick. Boy George was on Good Morning America.
When?
This was 1980 something.
Okay.
I was getting ready for school.
Mm-hmm.
I walked into the living room, and I was getting ready to walk out the door to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
My dad said, "Hey, have you seen this Boy George person? She is beautiful." And she's so hot.
I thought he was a she, too.
She's so hot. And I'm like, wait, is he talking about Boy George? So I walked into because I wasn't quite sure.
Right.
Because I didn't want to say anything while I was walking out the door. So I walked into the living room, and there's my dad watching Good Morning America. And Joan London, I think, was still on the show at the time.
Girl.
And
It was that long ago, girl.
And
JD3.
Boy George was sitting there,
Vintage.
and he was doing the interview, and my dad was like, "She is such a beautiful woman." And I looked at my dad, and I looked at the TV, and I looked at my dad, and I looked at the TV, and I said, "Dad, you realize that Boy George is a guy?" And he's like, "No, that can't be true. Boy George is a guy, Dad. Do you really want to hurt me when we were dancing in the living room? Mm-hmm. That's Boy George, and that's a guy. He is not a woman. He is a guy." And my dad would, "Oh, they can't. Wait, what? He just went into. I thought he was having a stroke for a second. I honestly thought he was having a stroke. We only have a few more minutes. In the 80s, it was all about androgyny.
Right.
It was all about
we were
all wearing eyeliner.
Men were wearing makeup and eyeliner. It was big British invasion.
Yes.
Everybody was wearing eyeliner.
Annie Lennox was beautiful.
Annie Lennox.
Handsome.
Annie Lennox, who was dressed like a man.
Mm-hmm.
Singing "Sweet Dreams Are Made of This."
Made of these.
Me and my brother sitting in front of the TV watching Friday night videos and MTV and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff we sang all the songs. We loved every minute. It was the most amazing. This was a turning point.
Yes.
In American history.
It was.
It was a turning point in American music history, where the idea of androgyny, the idea of transgenderism, the idea of
sexual power,
yeah,
between men and women was starting to change.
Yes.
It was starting to change, and the only thing that ruined it was AIDS. That was the big thing that ruined the whole thing.
Everybody loved
gay marriage, and
everybody loved us back then.
Gay marriage and everything else
AIDS
would have happened a lot sooner if it wasn't for AIDS.
And ignorant, I'm sorry, Ronald Reagan did not do us any favors. He didn't stop it.
Ronald Reagan in the sand.
But it wasn't about Ronald Reagan. It wasn't about the whole thing.
It was about the administration. It was ignorance.
It was about the whole way that the culture had changed. We were watching people come across the sea with big hair, big makeup, women in power, Dynasty, Dallas, all this fashion, men, women taking on different roles and doing different things.
We had Bowie.
We had all this stuff, and if it wasn't for a fucking disease, gay marriage would have happened in 1990 instead of 2015.
It would have happened way before then.
It would have happened a lot earlier, but it was a big disease that derailed the whole thing.
Well,
we were, as teenagers, we were starting to see the idea of being different was being okay.
Oh, yeah. But now, the moral of that story is, guys, if you're listening, have protective sex.
Yes.
Use condoms.
And don't rely upon one drug.
Don't rely on that drug.
There was another person who seroconverted while they were on that drug, which I forgot the name of it.
That pill.
The preventative, which...
You don't know the pill. What's it called, Joel?
It's PrEP. You use PrEP when you are in a relationship with someone who has HIV and you love them and you glove it even though you love them. You use that as a preventative.
And you still use it. And you should use PrEP with condoms. That's the recommendation by every physician on the planet. So, guys,
and don't
seriously,
fuck a lot of people when you're on PrEP because it's not
I hate to have to say this to old people like me who are over 50 and 50. I'm 50, bitches. Don't rush me. But
don't rush me.
PrEP. Oh, I love that old song.
I know.
PrEP with a condom. Come on, y'all. Seriously, are we going to start over again?
Well, that's the problem. Okay, here's the problem.
Why are we? Don't start
and
over.
I'm gonna try to make this very brief because I know we don't have a lot of time.
And
but Whenever we were talking about this earlier about antibiotics, finish taking your antibiotics because you're going to be creating a super bug. Same with fucking AIDS. If you're not using your medicine properly, you're going to create a super bug.
And get tested. Just get tested.
Everybody get tested.
Everybody get tested.
Even if you're in a relationship, you don't know what your partner is always doing, do have a little bit of paranoia about you.
At the same time, I want to say this at the same time. Enjoy yourself as a sexually healthy
Sex
adult.
positive.
Yes.
Have as much sex as you want to. Be with as many people as you want to, but be sex positive.
Careful.
Amen.
Be sex positive.
Sex
and take
safe is the best.
Don't
way.
worry about the other person. Take care of yourself.
That's right.
Take care of yourself, and as long as you take care of yourself, you can enjoy a healthy sex life all the way up to 70, 80 years old.
With
Do that.
Viagra, and you never know.
Viagra and Cialis is for people who are in their 70s, by the way.
No, you said 60, 70. I'm just saying.
But for those of us who are over 50, enjoy your life.
Yes.
Have as much sex as you want to.
Girl,
be free and enjoy
we are
your
not
thing.
over 50. We are 50.
Do
Stop
your
pushing me
thing.
over 50.
So we're gonna leave the show with
Love
me
and
saying
hope.
that I'm Joel Tatum,
I'm Randy, and you know what? Be safe, bitches.
and our guest host
David Hill.
David Hill.
I love you.
Love you.
Love you. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night, Tokyo. We love you too.
Good night.
Konnichiwa.
Good night, Tokyo. Good night, London.
Oh, girl. Good night, London.
Good night. Good night, England.
Good night, England.
Good night, Tomboy.
Good night, Sweden.
Oh, Sweden. And
Good night.
good night, Germany.
Good night, Palestine. Good night, Atlanta.
Palestine, Texas. Girl, you got it all.
Good night. Good night, Atlanta.
Raleigh, bitch. Raleigh. Love the Andy Griffith Show,
Oh.
bitches.
And if you're listening to this in the middle of that hurricane, we are praying for
we are
you.
praying to help you all. We are praying for you, especially you, Uncle Carl, because I don't know what you thinking, strapping and sticking in, because you live in a double wide, and God help you. God, I mean that.
And there are two people here who have lived through 2 hurricanes in Houston, Texas. You'll make it, and you'll be fine. And we'll be here for you if you need us. Good night.
Don't ask for no money. I'm just saying.
Good night, all.